Alright, so I'm making this video to first of all say how proud I am of myself for doing this and just showing what my skill set is on figuring things out. And also thank Google and figuring and networking figure stuff out as well. So I have a 2015 Golf R, and as the guys that have 2015 Golf Rs know, the 2015 when it first came out, it came with the MIB1 infotainment system, which in my opinion is mediocre and very inferior to the MIB2 that's in the 2016 and newer. And so another thing about that is to swap it in, it can be a pain in the ass. It's expensive, not only with the parts. I think in parts alone, I spent, it usually costs, if you just going to get it from the dealer, it's like $2,000, but if you're just getting this stuff online, it's like you're going to spend at least, at the most, probably about almost $800-900 for all the parts. I ended up getting it all done for about $650. I actually got a whole kit for $450, but I ended up, one of the unit that came with it was bad, so I ended up having to get another one. But another thing, the big thing about this is when you do this upgrade, you gotta get it. Most of the times, you gotta get it coded by somebody that oversees at 3-4. Like there's guys overseas that do to unlock this. It's called component protection. It takes like, you gotta get somebody overseas to do it. It costs $300 to $400. These guys charge. One guy quoted me for $325. So after dealing with this shit for a month, trying to get people, I found people that said they could do it. And no disrespect to them. I know people busy. I understand. I get it. Everybody got a life. And I totally understand that because I'm a business owner too. But I just couldn't get either one. Either people was too expensive. I'm like, $325. I'm not spending $325 to get this done. Then another thing was, it was guys that be waiting to get it done, but I can never get in touch with them. So I ended up going to the internet and figuring out a way how to do it myself. So without further ado, so here goes as anybody know, this is the MIB2 look, right? So I ended up doing everything myself, the coding and everything. And so this is this MIB2 Defender system. Look at that. No component protection. Alright, so as you can see, you got Android Auto now. Now I pretty much went through everything. I CP removed this component protection myself. Added all of the got the MIB1 amp working with it as well myself by doing the code in a second. So go to music right there. So you got the music working. I got also got Sport HMI. It's okay. Ain't nothing too special about it. Off road I put on here doing goddamn well. I don't have off road. And sometimes I gotta get a better cord. Sometimes it pops in and out. Everything works, like driving data works. I still gotta change this is apparently is out of I guess a form of all track. And yeah, so you got pretty much everything working. Like I did. I'm literally, I must say, I'm really proud of myself. And the hardest thing for me was getting this to work. I gotta take a shout out though. I can't say I did everything myself. I had a lot of help from some good people that took time out of their day just to help me. I gave them a tip, but they gave me like how to code the right way, how to find those right codes so I can this was hard to get working. Once I got this working, I gotta move. Hold on. Yeah, but yeah. So like I said, I'm really proud of myself for getting this working. I mean, I'm beyond proud because this was probably especially getting DCC to work was hard. But yeah, I must say, like, pretty much I saved me about $300 to $400 on the coding and the program of this to get it working. Oh, I got voice commands too. Navigation is kind of hard because I live in North America, so the problem with that is, you have to actually pay for the maps. I did like patch the CID so I can put a SD card in it that has the maps on it, but it's just so damn hard to find those maps. But yeah, other than that, like I said, I still got Android Auto. You do get some new features on MIB2 where you get a better looking setup in the midsection, like with the telephone, with the audio. You get a better look. You can, and also you get the auxiliary. Some people still use auxiliary, so you get auxiliary now. I'm just going to connect to this phone. Let me go to music right there. That was in the trap music. So yeah, so they go to really nice interface. I love the MIB2 interface. I also like the fact that you can't actually, on some apps, you can actually scroll by using that. Even on MIB1, I could never get this to work right. But I really do love the new look of MIB2 though. It's really nice, so much more responsive. I would say for me, this will probably be, if it's, besides me going stage 2 and putting all the mods on it, this was probably one of my favorite mods. It was definitely probably the more expensive. I think out the door, I still gotta send some stuff back I bought, but I think out the door I spent about probably $800 on doing this upgrade, which isn't bad compared. I've seen people spend $1,600-$1,700 on doing the MIB2 upgrade, and for a month, like, this has been something that I actually have been putting off for a long time, like, because the story on the car is this was my wife's car at first. I ended up giving it to her when I went back to BMW, but then she ended up going back to school, so I had a car that I just gave her to drive around so I can pay the car note on this. So I took this back as my permanent car. And so it was something I've been putting off for a while. But I said when I went back to it, I said the first thing I'm doing is doing the MIB2 upgrade. But I must say, like, I'm really, at the end of the day, I'm really proud of myself, because that was a hard mod. That was one of the things, like, everybody said, oh, you need somebody to do. Every time I would ask somebody for help, PM me, I can do it for you. I'm like, okay, cool. Then I asked how much. Oh, 150, 200. Even when I finally figured out how to do it, they still was telling me that, they wanted me to pay them to do it. And I'm like, no, I just need help getting it going. They still didn't want to help me. So I ended up, this guy, man, I don't know his name. He's from Canada. Shout out to him, man. He got me going, like, for real. First day, and then next thing on that was just trying to figure out the coding. But, but other than that, man, I must say I'm happy. I'm proud of myself for getting that done. I say this, like, I do like to say, I like to turn opportunities into business for me. But if it's somebody that just needs insight on how to do it, I have no problem helping you. But if you want me to do it for you, I probably can. It's a little tricky. Now, I will say there's a high risk of breaking the device if you're not careful. But you can reverse it. If you back up everything and reverse it. But if you do need some insight on it, I have no reason. I feel like anybody. I used to root and work on Android phones for like 7 years before I became a controls technician. So I went back to school. But so I had the experience of dealing with like shell and command prompt code. So it came like clock like language to me. It was like, it was new to, it was like what I knew. This is what I do. That's why when I was looking at people running these codes, I'm like, oh, I used to do this shit with Android. So yeah, I would say, like, man, if you got computer knowledge, you can do it. Like, don't be scared to break it. You just bag up, make sure you put the right codes in, make sure it's right. Boom, boom. If it's a code you gotta put in, script you gotta put in, run it the right way. But yeah, but other than that, man, I must say, it's coming along. So I just did just a couple mods. I'm doing a motor mouse now, and then after that, man, it should be ripping and running. So I don't want to ramble on too long, but so this is I'm checking out. down here checking out. Peace.